The CenCom Siren units are available from Whelen. They're available here on SIRENNET. And we're going to go over and see what Chris is up to with a particular model. Happens to be the CC-SRN36. And I think Chris is going to be showing how it kind of goes together and comes apart. And he's got a screwdriver, so I'm worried.
Well, thank you, Stuart. You may be thinking, Whelen CenCom Sapphire. I've seen those before. You guys have talked about them. Well, that's true. But we haven't talked about the CC-SRN36 series of the CenCom Sapphire. Before I go into this really trick-looking control head here, I'm going to give you a bit of an overview as to the amplifier, the harnesses, and a couple of the other components that go along with this kit. Main amplifier box here is your brains of the system. Inside this metal and black finished housing, a vast series of relays, tying components, electronics, bypasses, switchovers, soldering, wiring, all kinds of really fancy secret Whelen stuff. But to go along with all that fancy smancy electronics inside here is a very simplistic plug-and-play wiring harness kit to make the installation and really the use of the unit very simple for the end user, be it one vehicle or a whole fleet. The box itself, start on the top here, has a self-contained image showing how everything works. So what harness is what when your system's plugged in. Also, you have a series of easy access inline fuses, so should you ever need to switch anything, you don't have to open the housing. Grab a set of pliers, pull the fuse out that needs to be switched, and easily pop a new one in. Below the fuses are a series of indicators running across. The indicators are a troubleshoot system. So they help you diagnose if your system's working properly or if there's an error in the system somewhere. Now, an error in the system doesn't necessarily mean something in here. It could be the fact that a wire's come loose, something's grounding on a random from vibration, a connection is slipped off a terminal somewhere, or another fuse in the vehicle, or maybe even the alternator or battery system is having issues. Your indicators here will light up for you, or flash, depending on what the issue is, to help you find where your trouble may be in your system. It's a really nice feature to have there. So instead of having to pull all kinds of wires, pull all kinds of loom, trying to basically just find a problem in the skeleton of the car, you can go right here, start the process really clean and simple. On the side of the unit, you have adjustment knobs for fine-tuning your PA and also radio rebroadcast, should you choose to hook that up. Nothing on the side here. On the back here is a main 20 amp fuse for your siren. So nice safety function there. The front of the unit here is where we get into the goodies. On the side here, we have the unit's main power input connector. So you have two main grounds, two main leads. You'll tie those into your vehicle's electrical system as appropriate. Nice with this here, complete plug and play. Goes right into the amp, locks in place, and then it's in nice and firmly. If you need to remove it, click the tab in, give it a wiggle, comes right out for you. Unit includes another harness here, which plugs into the top connection here. Again, it has a locking unit, so you don't have to worry about it wiggling or coming off at any point. Pops into place. And this harness here ties into two 40 amp and two 20 amp outputs. So with that, you can run a lot of components. So if you have a bar that's pulling a lot of juice or some really serious scene lighting on your vehicle, be it Pioneers of any nature all over, or even nanos or micros, what have you, you can tie a lot of electronics into this unit without having to worry about a relay blowing out or subsidizing your electronics with a series of knockdowns. So really nice and helpful there. Another harness that's included goes in the top portion here. And this terminal lock harness which I'm trying to put in upside down. See, again, nice thing, you can only put a harness in one way with this, so you don't have to worry about switching something on yourself without really knowing. This series of pigtails here will tie your CenCom Sapphire unit into your additional vehicle components. So your speakers for running your siren tones, your in-vehicle radio, you can wire in hands-free function if you want to go siren control on the steering ringer, and a few other components for you as well. Really, with the CenCom and its programmability and the triggers here, you can add whichever components from your vehicle you see fit. Another harness included with the unit that's also plug and play goes in to the bottom of the amp here. And this series of pigtails will tie in for other accessories that you can run with the CenCom Sapphire. So between all the harnesses here, you can tie in radio, siren speakers, cameras, radar, grille lights, deck lights, mirror beam lights, underbody lights, hatch lights, anything you want to. Easy to tie it in to your pigtails here. If you were wondering, where's the microphone go? Microphone has an input right down here on the base of the unit. So I'll get these harnesses out of the way here. Give it a little bit more room just to show you. Whelen microphone, standard side push to talk, clippable on the back, standard PA input, goes right there. And if you're thinking, well, that's great, Chris, you plug the mic in, but I'm going to put this in the back of my SUV or it's going in the trunk of the sedan. There's no way that coil cord is going to go anywhere near as far as I need it to reach. Well, that's okay. Included with the CenCom is a 20-foot microphone extension. So it's got connecting ends as appropriate. So we can take the coil cord microphone portion here, plug it into the extension. So extension plugs into the amp, microphone plugs into the other end of the extension. Also included, I don't have it here with me, but there's an L bracket that you can put on this portion here, so you can affix it to a portion in the vehicle to lock down the connection point here, so you won't inadvertently pull your mic loose or overstretch your harness. So again, 20 feet plus the mic on the quick connect here will allow the CenCom Sapphire amp to really go in any vehicle. So SUV, truck, van, definitely a sedan, easy to fit. Can I show you next? Another input harness here comes with a data link control on both ends. And this data link extension cable, which again is a very nice long harness for you, plugs into its appropriate port on the Sapphire amp as well. Get these out of the way here. So the data extension here is ultimately going to run to the trick control head. Data cable will plug in, run it through the vehicle as appropriate. Comes with a splitter, so we'll plug that in. And on the other end of the splitter, plugs in the small harness here, which in turn here plugs into the pinning in the back of the control head. There's two grooves, so a bottom groove and a side groove that'll help you to route the plug-in harness. So we'll take the harness portion here, line it up with those little pins, plug it in, and route the harness, and then it'll clearly and cleanly come out the bottom, or switch it over, and the harness is now, get some slack, now the harness is side protruding. So got some flexibility there for you, which will allow for easier mounting with the control head. Good. harness quick connect, so easily removes from the control head. Oh, before I do that, one other quick thing here that I want to show you. Really trick function. Is the green 3-pin connector down here. Comes with a connector component. Slides in. And into these 3 positions, you'll affix your green, your gray, and your shield wire from any of your Whelen WeCan series, or if you want to get into it, software programmable light bars. So with that, if you have a Liberty, a Legacy, Freedom, Delta, Rotobeam, what have you, you can plug it right into the side of the Sapphire for easy operation and easier interfacing. And again, quick connect, so it's really easy for putting your bar with the Sapphire amp. On the control head here, this is where it gets fun. Unlike the standard Sapphire control head, which is a full black-faced unit with a series of rows of push buttons, this unit offers really some of the best of both worlds. It still keeps that classic heavy-duty position rocker switch, so you can code up the vehicle from 1 to 3 very easily. Again, it's programmable. Siren controls are adjusted on the front rotary knob here. It's a really nice, easy to use function there. Also, everything here, if you're wondering, it is backlit. So when you have the unit on, using it for nighttime, the buttons will light up indicating what's the function, is it active, is it deactive, and then also the rotary knob so you know where you're turning it to for your tones on your vehicle. On the side here, I don't have this unit labeled up, but included is a really nice solid polycarbonate button pack. So these units will pop off, slip onto the buttons of the unit, and from there, once you have them on, you can take the really nifty included clear label sheet here and spread out your buttons. So if it's you using the vehicle, guys on the other side of the department using it, or transportation from here to there, and they need to run the accessories, be it PD, DOT, fire and rescue service, everything's really easy for anybody to use. So department vehicles that switch between a lot of folks, really easy for everybody to get in the car, know what's what with the control system. Button here, it's a push button, offers manual siren tone activation. Button below, manual air horn activation. So if you need to get folks out of your way, a couple quick clicks, activate your tones as appropriate for you. On the bottom, we have an LED indicator for a traffic advisor. So if you have it integrated into the rear deck, the light bar, anywhere on the vehicle really, this indicator will show you if it's active, and if so, what it's doing. So you have a button here for left arrow, right arrow. If the two are run in conjunction, your traffic advisor will go center outward. Or the third button can be programmed to activate a flashing mode. So if your traffic advisor has in flashers or you want to kick it into amber safety, cautionary mode, you can program the button here to do that for you. Across the top, you have a series of 8 push buttons, and these are very nifty in that you can program them for anything you want. So if you want to do brake light cutout, if you want to do white light cutout for your fire rescue apparatus, scene lights, grill lights, mirror lights, say for example if you have some of the new Trick V-Series, run one for puddle lights, other one for running the alley or the flood function. So completely programmable, anything you want it to do can be done through the software. Once you boot up the system, you will be able to then go in, drag and drop different functions and different tones for setting everything up. And in case you were wondering, the CenCom Sapphire disc requires a USB data cable. Doesn't come with a unit, but really nowadays, any computer system will have one with it to run some functions you already have. So take your USB cable, plug it into your Sapphire, load your disk into your system, plug the other end of the cable in, install software, pull up the really niftiness that Whelen has created for a really clean, simplistic, end-user programmable system, and there you have it. What's really nice with the software as well, if you're doing a fleet of vehicles, you can do vehicle number 1, spend some time, get everything programmed, fine-tuned, adjusted exactly how you want it to run for your control head and vehicle operation, hit the save button. Then when it comes to car 2, car 10, car 50, car 100, put the disk in, download the saved program, and you have instantaneous just fleet uniformity, which is really great. So instead of having to go in, program each car, run the disk, save the settings, next car comes in, boot it up, and you're done. So what more can I say? Whelen CenCom Sapphire system, getting into the nifty part number. This one here with this great trick control head, blue-faced unit. It's a CC SRN 36. Thanks for joining me here on SIRENNET Television. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, as you can see here at SIRENNET Television, we like to have lots of fun and take things apart. And again, thanks, Chris. And again, thank you, by the way, for watching SIRENNET Television. I'm Stuart.